everybody out here, Marty Grabstein, the voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog, and you're watching Toon'd In by Jim Cummings. Not by Jim Cummings. With.
Yay!
Marty Grabstein, and you've been watching Toon'd In with Jim Cummings.
Hey everybody, Jim Cummings here, and if Tigger were here, he'd say, thanks everybody for bouncing on in here and enjoying the show. But before we go, I want you to do me a small favor. Hit like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the show. Now, speaking of enjoying the show, enjoy the show.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Toon'd In with Jim Cummings. I'm producer Chris. We're coming to you semi-live from the world-famous San Diego Comic-Con, and we are joined by a very special guest today. None other than Marty Grabstein. You know his voice from Courage the Cowardly Dog, along with many, many other projects. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure to be here, man.
Marty, thank you.
Thank you.
Come on down. You're the next contestant.
Happy to be here.
Oh, man, we're
All
happy.
of these people, and I able to yell, and it's still okay, and I'm not going in the reds. Am I in the red already?
You're actually not.
Thank God.
You're not.
See, we knew you were coming. This is a dummy.
I knew you were coming.
We're miking you from across the room. This isn't a decoy. Just
Decoy.
yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Tickled to be here.
Yeah.
Jim, I love it, man.
Yeah, it's good stuff, isn't it? You know, we do these cons, and I think we met at a con. I don't even think I was when I was at the Great Fusilli on Courage. I'm not even sure we did it all together.
No.
It was a million years ago, and we all flew solo.
Yeah. I mean, the Great Fusilli, I heard that you were doing it, and the recording, always
And you said, so?
individual, just a lonely guy in the booth recording,
Yeah, I know.
Collecting a paycheck. God bless.
Yeah, life is good. Yeah,
Well-
you left your lucrative modeling career to pursue voice acting.
How do you know that?
We researched. I know you better
Did
than
Buddy
you.
research that?
I don't think so. Could be.
Lucrative modeling career.
Marty, I'm curious myself. Let's bring it back all the way to your childhood.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
When did you first kind of get like the bug, the performance bug? What led you? Did you do plays as a kid? What lead us through that story first, please?
All right, so to be really honest, I wish that I wasn't so saddled with this bug of having to perform. I wish that I wasn't. I probably would have been more, wealthy if I'd gone a different route. But, I always had to do it. I always had to do it. I was 6 years old, when I started performing in community theaters. I went camp. It was, Don Sancho and Man of La Mancha.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
I had a lot of music. I was always a singer.
Oh, really?
You were a singer.
Oh, yeah? You say you started as a singer as well?
I started as a singer. I learned to play guitar when I was 12 years old, so sing and play guitar. And, I didn't quit my day job to get singing jobs. I
Right.
wanted you to know that.
At the age of 12, you had
At the age-
day.
My day
I'm
job.
impressed. See, I would not have known that.
But anyway, I always was doing it from the beginning.
Yeah.
When I was 4 years old,
Oh, boy.
I memorized the entire score of the soundtrack album of The Wizard of Oz. By the way, I had to get this out of the way so
Okay.
I know everything is on the up and up. I am Bert Lahr.
Yes.
Anyway, so I am recovering from a stroke, so once in a while my speech gets halted. Something happens with my speech. So anybody who's curious what's going on with that guy, with the just know, feel bad for me. He had a stroke.
Yes.
Oh, God bless him. I have to really feel for him now.
That's right.
But anyway, so But anyway, I remember the entire soundtrack. It was performed by anybody who would listen. I'm walking around to
Oh, yeah,
people
yeah.
just think, I was such an adorable child.
So was this one of those things where, like at your bar mitzvah, your parents said, "Wait till you see, he's gonna come here, honey, Tevin, come here, Tevin,
Absolutely.
come here, Tevin." You know, were you?
Absolutely.
I knew
my
it.
mother.
How did I know that?
Because you know about the Jews. You know about the Jews. You could say Jew in this conversation, and
Especially
none of
as a Jew.
disparaging
Yeah,
comments.
yeah. You can say whatever you want.
What do you care what I say?
No, I'm your audience here. You the
Good
man.
to see you, man.
Hey, I'm glad
Really
you're here.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
So, did I answer the question a little bit?
I don't even remember the question.
The
What was it?
Just asking, the origins
So
of.
that I was really, I had to do it, and I did community theater. I became acquainted with a lot of the great playwright Bertolt Brecht, Clifford Odets, Arthur Miller, Tennessee Williams, William Ing. I'm showing old now. But anyway, who's the Russian guy? Oh, Chekhov, right. Anyway.
Who's that Russian guy?
Enough showing off, Marty.
I thought you were going to say Khrushchev. That would.
I don't have a shoe to bang on the table.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's interesting to me because a lot of the voice actors that we talk to on this podcast, and I mean just in general, have a musical theater background.
Yeah.
A theater really translates well since I've learned, to voice acting.
But so you musical, I'm curious with you because I'm assuming I never heard you sing, and I just getting to know you now.
Oh,
really,
sure.
Let's say so. You totally musical. You're a musician, right?
Yeah, it's kind of where I started. As a kid, I was about 12, 13 years old, and I was a drummer. But by
You told me it.
just by luck of the draw, we had to sing songs, and it was mostly like Motown, and so I just started singing because apparently I could, and it was a lot of fun, and girls like it. Come to find out. Now, who'd have thunk it? And so that was a bit of an inspiration.
I don't want to lie to you.
Okay, please don't.
I did it for the same reason.
Of course you
One
did.
of the same reasons.
Every singer did.
And
Then
I learned
some
to
of them
play
actually
guitar.
were good at it.
And I started on drums as well.
Oh, really?
I had a drum set in the basement.
Okay.
I wanted to.
What kind?
A Gretsch.
Gretsch. Nice. I got a set of Gretsch.
But I couldn't, I couldn't sing and play drums. It's clunky. So
Yeah.
I learned to play guitar because I wanted the girls to like me.
Yeah. And it's easier to carry around.
Absolutely.
You don't need your own personal roadie.
Absolutely easier.
That's why I switched from drums to I'll just get this microphone. I'll tell you what, I'll hold a tambourine. I'll play the tambourine. I was a hell of a tambourine player. Yeah.
Me too.
You too? Yeah.
So
it worked.
What did you do music? I can answer questions,
Of course,
right?
of course.
It's flowing. It's flowing very well so far.
It is.
Stop laughing, Buddy the Elf. All right. I can say Buddy the Elf, right?
Who?
Anyway, so I want to hear more about your music,
No, you don't. I don't even want to hear more about my music. No, I just always enjoyed singing. And,
Jim, what was the name of your band that you were in when you were young?
My first band was the Magistrates.
The Magistrates.
Oh,
And then I was a fantastic Perel. Thank you. and I was a Sweet Soul Spice. Arthur Connors and the Sweet Soul Spices. And I was the white kid in a couple of those bands.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mainly black band?
Well, except for me.
Except you, right.
Yeah. In fact, I hadn't thought of this in a million years. Back in the Youngstown Vindicator, they were all so proud of us because we're a pretty good band. We actually, we played a lot of proms and at the Afro-Cuban Lounge. And boy, was that a classy joint. Richie's dad had to accompany us because, this is a place where guns would flash and knives would, Did I mention it was in Youngstown?
You did.
Yeah, and Crimetown, USA at the time. But I thought it was great, and
That's
I
great.
didn't know I was accidentally prepping for my future living.
Right.
Although I was kind of aiming for it anyway. I knew I was going to do it when I was 5.
The music allowed you to, getting back to your thing about many voice actors, getting training from singing.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
This expressiveness of singing, the various, the range of expression that happens
Yes,
with singing
yes.
Oh, yeah.
allows you, gets your voice in a mode of changing
Yeah.
its expression. Everything is musically based anyway. I'm convinced of that. It's okay to do this,
It sure is.
and whatever I do. But by the way, how am I looking?
It's a close up. It's like chest up.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Tell me
looking
you look
stylish.
You do look
You
good.
look good, Marty.
I actually really like this setting. Once
Yeah.
again, to the audience watching, we're out here in San Diego. We're at
Diego.
this nice rooftop out here for San Diego Comic-Con, and
Yeah.
it's been a really good time.
Yeah.
Been a really
Yeah.
good time.
We're here in our luxury rooftop penthouse.
really nice.
But back to what you were saying about, I really agree with that about the finding your range as a singer. I think that translates so well. And as a voice actor, I guess I can call myself a voice actor. I just got
Sure.
paid to voice act
That's
last
right.
week.
That's right.
God bless.
How about that?
And
Welcome to the club, by the way. Again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was my first ever voice acting role last week. Did an
Yeah.
anime show, and man, what a good time. I love being in that booth. I'm sure you guys obviously
Oh,
can
yeah.
relate, but
But I also want to make something clear. I don't consider myself a voice actor per
Really?
se.
Interesting.
Because I've never really pursued voice acting. You don't know that, So I'm an actor, so I fell into courage because it was an opportunity. Somebody had called me up, a friend of mine who knew I was a very good actor and a stage actor mostly.
Yes,
Yeah, yes. yeah.
I was doing a lot of stage, a
Good,
lot
yeah.
of bouncing around. But I'm answering some of those questions you might
No,
have
for
been.
sure,
I'm
for sure.
beating you to the punch.
You are, you are.
Giving
You
some
actually-
of that stuff. But anyway, so I did do 8 years of a sketch comedy duo.
No kidding.
Oh,
in,
interesting.
Wow,
New
that's
York
tough.
with
That's a tough gig, man.
writing our own material.
Yeah.
with a
Improv.
partner.
I mean,
We
Nah.
did do some improv in
Gotcha.
the course of it, but it basically structured mini plays, right? Mini
Oh,
3
wow.
minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute sometimes,
Whoa.
1 minute sketch.
wow.
Yeah.
Learning all of the
And where would you
parameters.
perform?
I performed all over the city of New York in various cabaret venues and some theaters. We did actually, at a peak of what we were doing, we actually did a full-length play with a kind of a trumped-up framing device, which basically was an excuse for putting up sketches
Yeah.
for everybody, but making it a full-length play and justifying being in an actual off-Broadway theater.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
doing a run, so to speak.
Nice.
So it was really cool, and we got very successful at it. We got a couple of really nice reviews from the New York Post.
oh, that's
and
great.
a Time at New York, we were number one for 2 weeks in a row. Number one choice, critics' choice, ahead of numerous Broadway shows.
Wow, that's so cool.
We were kicking ass, but
That's a great brag, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Who was your
once a-
partner? Who was your partner?
His name is Rick Mowat. We have since done many independent films together, short films. We collaborated on it. He directed. We wrote together. Many things. Going to the film festival circuit, all
yeah?
of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so basically, acting and not making that much money. But because I remember Joe Mantegna, that's a
There you go.
that's a segue. Joe Mantegna said, I met him, I spoke to him, and he said, you know, people, he said he was so blessed, and I know you feel that.
Oh, yeah.
To be paid for doing what you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
in a sense, anybody being an actor should do it, whether they're gonna get paid or not.
Oh, yeah.
You try to
Yes.
get
Absolutely.
paid, but
Yes.
you just don't get paid.
Yes.
Right.
If a painter doesn't sell a painting, is he still a painter? Yes, he
Yes.
is.
Van Gogh didn't sell one in his lifetime.
In his lifetime.
Yeah.
Come on.
Died a pauper, but he was so doing what you do, you should do it because it's ridiculously hard to take any job at all.
Yeah.
Any job at
Yeah.
all. So
That's funny you bring that up. I was just talking to a friend about that the other night. And I feel like, especially in LA, you know, I'm LA kid. And I feel like so many people just get into acting for all the wrong reasons. You know, I feel like it's kind of shifting now with social media, kind of the people who, you know, wanted to be actors before just for the celebrity of it are now just, you know, social media is so much easier. I'm not taking away from it because, you know, they have a whole different skill set, but there's just been like such in my upbringing, there was so many quote unquote actors who didn't appreciate the craft. They just wanted to be on TV or in movies and for the celebrity aspect of it.
Yeah.
And I was telling my friend the other day, you know, like some of the best actors I've ever seen in my life, they've never booked anything. You know, it's in classes, it's that
That's true.
passion. You know, it's that,
That's right.
it's like you were just saying, you know, like if you're passionate about something, the money doesn't matter. And like you say, Jim, you know, you say all the time, if, you know, if you want to do something, be so good at it that they'll pay you for it,
Yeah.
you know? And that's
Absolutely.
like, that comes from that drive and that passion. You can't fake that, you know?
Yeah.
It's something that's inherent
Yeah.
in any performer, whether they're a busker, whether they're, you
Yeah,
know, whoever.
absolutely.
You know, the whole chain all the way up, you should really be passionate about it. Because if you're just going in there and mailing in performances, it's, what's the point? You know, like,
Yeah. Well, there was one line in Tootsie, the movie, that really bugged me. And he was trying to get an acting job, Dustin Hoffman, and he goes, well, I called my agent and I told him, I said, I'll do anything. I will even do voiceover. That's how bloody desperate I am. And I was thinking, fool, get over here, plick right on the forehead, you know. So yeah. And I was thinking, my life's goal is your side gig. Thank you.
who
Hold
wrote
it.
that? Who wrote Tootsie? I forgot who wrote it.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe Buddy the Elf can.
Sidney Pollack directed it. I don't know if he had any with the writing of it.
I want to go back to Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Okay.
So, so you have an agent, I'm assuming, before you get that audition. What was the lead? No? Even better.
I did have an
Even
agent.
better.
But
I'm getting shown the writer, screenplay by Larry Gelbart and
Larry Gelbart, come on.
Murray
Hey.
Schisgel.
So,
That knucklehead.
but
Of
he
course
was
it
so
was.
great. But I know he's tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
You know, he did it for. I don't think Larry Gelbart didn't have respect for voiceover. But
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman, the character, did not have respect.
Right. That's right.
That's
We get it.
a flawed
Yeah.
character.
That's right.
Anyway, but
Sorry to distract you from that, but yeah. So you do have an agent at the time.
I had an agent at the time, but I wasn't getting a lot of, auditions,
And this is in New York.
in New York, yeah. So, but an interesting story. So the person who called me up, a friend of mine who I had not spoken to in maybe 5 years, called me up out of nowhere and basically said, Marty, I know I haven't spoken to you in a while, but I have a feeling that you're still acting. I felt like you were still acting. I think, and I decided to give you a call because I'm working with this guy, John Dilworth, who's creating a new cartoon series, Courage the Cowardly Dog, and he listened to every voiceover actor in the city and can't seem to arrive at a decision. Maybe 200 voices he heard.
Oy, oy, oy.
Did he hear your voice?
No.
No, you didn't audition for
No,
Courage the Cowardly
I
Dog.
wasn't in New York either, so it's
You
okay.
weren't in New York.
Yeah.
So she said, at this point, he's driving me crazy. I figured I'd reach out to my friends and maybe I have better luck. So I basically, she said, the audition is tomorrow, and I don't have any script for you really to read per se. There's nothing.
boy.
He was a short on lines character anyway. He didn't have a lot of.
So what did you do? What did you give them?
Right. So the only thing she told me is that he's a neurotic dog. He's a little dog, very, very neurotic, afraid of his own shadow, and somehow at the 11th hour, he finds a way to save the world from monsters.
What a nice dog.
That's all I got.
Interesting.
So I walked in.
Interesting.
I walked into the audition strangely relaxed because if I know I can't prepare, that means I relax.
It's almost like a weight off your shoulder.
Yeah, you're prepared.
Exactly. I'm prepared because, and I also knew I was very good at responding to, changes, taking direction. Somebody said, do it this way. All right. I quickly processing and doing that. So I was not worried how I was going to come across, either I was going to happen or not, So I walked in and somehow, because I knew he was neurotic, me being a big fan of Woody Allen, number one.
Oh, God, yeah.
And Jew, again, a Jewish guy, a background. It's my phone dinging. My phone should not be dinging when I'm at the Jim Cummings podcast. I'm sorry, man. Anyway.
I didn't even hear it.
So I walked.
I didn't either.
But with a good bit.
Was that your agent not calling?
Anyway, so I walked in and I decided to mine my idea of neurosis is, but pretty much my own self, the way you hear me speaking now, fumbling and cracking, my voice cracking, all of that stuff. I did it with. In the audition, he was laughing a lot. He was laughing. I saw his face.
That's got to be a good sign.
His eyes were like, so I knew like I'm doing good. So I'm relaxed even more. And he said, can you just do it this way? Can you just pitch it higher? Pitch it up here. Oh, I'm gonna, all the things I do for love. So, and he said, oh my God, we got it.
Yeah.
I think you got the job. I just got to check.
Wow.
I didn't have to wait for.
And what's that feel like when you book it? When you booked it, what's that feel like?
Surreal.
Yeah.
Surreal. And I never done
Was it your first VO?
I did a couple. I think the commercial 10 years previous.
Oh, I see.
A voiceover for that. I did a couple of small voiceover things for animated short films that didn't go anywhere.
Okay.
But mainly, this is my first significant VO audition.
Sure,
really.
yeah.
And
Wow.
But I landed it. I was so happy because. Again, I didn't. By the way, I want to be clear with someone. When I say I'm not a voiceover actor, I'm not putting myself down. I just, contrary to Dustin Hoffman, I do recognize the skill set that you and Rob Paulson and Alan Oppenheimer, the giants of the industry. I'm blowing enough smoke up his ass now. I'm not doing it. I have to do a little bit of
My
that.
ass is fine.
Your ass is fine. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you.
But anyway, so I recognized the skill set, and I never really worked on that skill set, you know. So I was just fortunate to get the right audition, the right thing, and also a very good actor. I knew I was good at
There you go.
acting.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and acting is the main thing, isn't it? Learn the skills, you learn the modulation, and learn the little tricks of breathing,
Sure.
all those things.
Yeah.
You teach that, I know. You teach some classes.
I've been known to here and there.
Right. Other than that, I knew I had the skill set as an actor to be able to do that. But anyway, so that's how I got the job. But it's interesting, some interesting realization I came to. I walked in relaxed, like I'd never been more relaxed. You said I was really
good.
prepared already, right?
Right.
I walked in. How often do I walk into an audition and half the energy is making sure I do what I need to do, and half the energy is making sure I don't look desperate. So I need to act like I'm relaxed. I'm walking terrified, but acting like I'm fine. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Wow.
But inside, you
Yeah.
would be nervous, but you
Sure.
have to mask that shit, right?
Absolutely.
But I didn't have to mask anything because I was not nervous at all.
Oh, that's good. Wow.
It is that kind of
That's
crazy
beautiful.
thing in
That
a
was
way.
that was some of the
perfect.
best advice I've ever heard from an actor.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I've heard it time and time again. But one of my good friends, Richard Harmon, from the 100, he's an actor. He was just in the new Final Destination, one of the leads in the new
Oh,
Final
wow.
Destination, that movie that came out.
Nice circulation.
And I was with him, you know, we were having drinks like a few years ago, and I was like, man, like, because we were like childhood friends, you know, like we grew up together. We were always like, we were making these little like Scream spoofs, you know, at like 12,
yeah.
13 years
Oh,
old.
that's cool.
Yeah, and we called it Drew and Harry. And we had the little Scream mask. Anyway, that's, you know, another story. Anyway,
I
but
want to hear more about your life, Chris. Come on, man.
no, but he told me, I was like, man, like that's so cool. You know, he booked one of the leads in the 100. You know, that show went for 7 or 8 seasons, whatever it was. And I was like, man. And he was like, you know what? Like I booked that role when I first just let go. Like I just let go, because as an actor, as a performer, you know, they want you. You know, the people casting, they want somebody who's like, I don't need you. You know, here you go. I do my thing. You want me. I don't want you.
Wow.
You know, and
Yeah.
then like you
Get the
like,
right
like you
mindset.
said, you know, if you go in there nervous and desperate, you know, it reeks.
Yeah,
People can
it
tell that
shows.
desperation. You know, it's like, oh, I need
Right.
this so bad.
And not only that, so yes, it reeks, but let's say you're very good at covering it up, covering the scent
Yeah.
of reeking.
Well, then you're a
Oh,
great
right.
actor already.
Right.
Yeah, that,
You
That's
still,
part of it.
You're still split in your energies. They don't see it consciously. They don't see that, but you're robbing yourself of half of what you need to propel you into the situation, right? You're robbing yourself because you have to shove down, busy shoving down your nervousness. So
then you have to perform on top of that.
exactly.
And that's a bad foundation.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
might even be successful if you're good enough. You might even be successful at doing a good job. Do you ever phone anything in?
You mean literally or
Act
or at the job?
All of the work you've done.
No, I don't. I mean, when I used to do tags or what have you at the WB. Coming up next, and there's not a lot of. You don't have to work really hard on that one.
Yeah.
But No, I've said this before, and I treat every session like it was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Even those tags you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Even those, it's still every time.
Well,
you
those were
walk
like the
in-
playoffs.
Right.
They were
Not the Super Bowl.
Not
but
quite the Super Bowl.
playoff.
But I still wanted to win.
But you wanted to win. All right, but you got the job. If you
Yes.
got the job, you're given the job, did he ever phone it in, the work? When I say phone it in, I mean like somehow you know you're good, you know you barely need to focus
Yeah,
on something.
sure.
You can just toss it off. Did you ever do that? Do you always?
No, I don't. I take the work seriously, like I say, but
Integrity.
not myself seriously. But yeah, I and I'll tell you one thing that happened to me, and it had nothing to do with my intent or whatever. But one of the first 3 times I performed Winnie the Pooh, I had the rest of the lingering of a head cold, and I thought, well, but I had that former steel mill worker, former deckhand worker mentality. It's got to go to work. Oh my God, I got to do this. I have to do this. I'm going to go. I'm going to soldier through. And it sounded like Pooh had a cold that day when it went on the air, and I went, oh man, oh gosh, there wasn't enough neosynephrine in the world to get me through that. So, I don't. It's not quite phoning it in, but it's soldiering on when it wasn't necessary, because they could have waited about 3 days to record.
So how did it turn out?
Well, and nobody apparently, because I asked everyone, and they were going, no, it sounds fine. And I was going, are you sure? Because all I can hear is I'm about to cough in 4 seconds.
That's right.
And and so, but that's okay. If I don't mind being hypercritical of
Right.
me, keeps you on your toes.
Keeps you on your toes.
There's no doubt about it.
Definitely. And I will say that somehow that's same. Something else when the acting, getting back to the lab rats was the name of our group.
Oh.
And so the fact that I would, getting back to the whole thing, do it because you love it, Joe Mantegna, the fact that I was doing that for 8 years, and every week I was either performing somewhere or working, rehearsing something that we were going to be doing. So my acting that's why I wanted to do that. I've met this guy in an acting class, and I said I liked him, and he's very different from me, very Protestant, from the tall blonde hair, blue eyes, totally different from me, And I said I had a feeling, because I know he wrote something for murder mysteries. He wrote some murder mysteries.
Oh.
So I figured he was. I know he liked my acting. So I said, you know what? Let's get together, because I'm trying to I want to form a comedy act with somebody, and a sketch comedy. And I said, I need somebody with formal writing comedy history. I have written, but not formally, but I'm very creative with ideas, comedic ideas. And so the two of us get together, and his discipline and my craziness essentially become a good thing. But that being said, so we were acting all the time.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, someone that created courage happening. Even though that lady gave me a call, she didn't know I was acting at Lab Rat,
Right.
but somehow I was putting it out. If you believe anything mystical exists, there is some mysticism
Yeah.
in
I
the
agree.
world.
Yeah.
Whatever your religious
Sure.
affiliation. So I feel that I was putting myself out there
Mm-hmm.
all of the time, and getting my chops established,
Yes.
honing my abilities. I was definitely prepared to go in and be relaxed, prepared and with courage, and that's set a whole thing going. But my agent getting me more TV bookings, that I got, auditioned, and I booked a dozen of the various character parts of the Law and Orders, all of those shows.
Oh, wow.
Blacklist, the Third Watch, anyway, various things, independent films, all of that stuff. So all that came from lab rats. All of that,
Wow,
all of that
no kidding.
paying work came from what I did when I wasn't getting paid.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing.
Kind of
Yeah,
makes it
yeah,
look like
yeah.
a cool thing.
Yeah, that makes sense though. It really does, because when you weren't getting paid, you were perfecting your craft.
Yeah.
You were working on it.
I'm not only perfecting my craft, but my soul was being satisfied. I went
Yeah.
to sleep at night feeling
Yeah.
I'm an actor and I'm acting, versus just waiting tables and not even acting, acting to not get paid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I realized I had to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah. And that's
That's the right attitude.
Yeah,
Thank
I was just gonna say that's like, you can walk into any acting 101 class and you can tell who's a performer and who's not. It's like you see, it's like anything. Like practice makes perfect, and just I see so many people who just they say they're an actor, they say they're this and that, and it's like what are you doing for your craft? You're not in class. You're not exercising your tool.
Yeah, you got to exercise that muscle.
You couldn't call yourself a drummer or a guitar player if you never pick up the instrument. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just refreshing to hear that, we hear so many stories like this, from various people on this podcast and in general, where it's, it's gonna come if you're so dedicated to it that you're always trying to get better and, you become a better performer. I mean, you can just see it, the confidence and both of you tell me if I'm right about this or not, but I feel like you cannot be self-conscious as a performer.
No.
You cannot. You have to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
You cannot be inside your head.
Yeah.
Marty, I see the wheels turning. What do you have to say?
Yeah. And you can't be afraid to fall flat on your face, because if you don't take risks, you don't.
Right.
There's no payoff.
So, I absolutely, in theory, when you say you cannot, you should not, but
Fair.
sometimes,
Fair.
Yeah.
because we're human, we do have those moments. You were concerned about the cold. Did it sound bad? He says, I asked everybody.
Yeah.
So it was so
Yeah, nobody noticed.
not
Yeah.
self-conscious, but not self.
I totally
when you're
get it.
working,
Yeah.
but acknowledging that every time I ever go on stage, I was always nervous.
Sure. Oh God, yeah.
But
Do you feel, let me interject really quick
Please.
because I feel this completely. Do you feel the nervous, and we talked about this with Kensington Tallman about anxiety and nervousness. I said that it's not necessarily a bad thing. To me, it almost fuels,
Yeah.
a
Oh, God, yeah.
performance. It's like,
that's a good
Yeah.
point.
even when I played football, you get the butterflies before that
played
opening.
football?
I played football. Oh yeah.
What
Yeah.
your position?
I was a linebacker.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was a linebacker. I played all the way up through
Wouldn't wanna Be
college.
a quarterback when you're heading to it.
Yeah, that's right.
Offensive
That's right.
line, man.
No, but do you agree that, that nervousness, that anxiety, for me, it always fueled a
Oh, yeah.
performance. It was like,
Absolutely.
oh yeah, it's game time. Like,
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to perform.
Absolutely.
Obviously you
And
get it,
that's-
especially on stage, where it's
Especially
the
on
show
stage.
must go on. You only
Yeah.
get one take.
Chris,
That's right.
Absolutely, and you make me remind me by mentioning that this is. I said every time, but when I have been in a run for a while of something theatrically, and when that happens, I sometimes am too relaxed before I go on. So yes, like so I need to manufacture some energy because otherwise I'm too relaxed.
Yeah.
That's when you stumble.
Do you have a warm-up routine? Like a lot of actors look in the mirror and or do all this ridiculous stuff.
I never warmed up as an actor. I never warmed up my voice.
Really?
Man, explain the
Oh, boy.
scratchy shit you hear.
Just
Okay.
damage the hell out of your voice.
Tell me you're not cringe sometime. You cringe listening to
No, God, no,
my
no.
scratchiness.
No.
But
I think Louis Armstrong was an incredible singer. How about that?
I think so. Too.
There.
I
So
think so.
now you're in fine shape. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm 70 years old.
Joe Cocker.
Are you really?
I'm 70 years old.
Get
Joke.
out.
You do know
What would you do? You know,
what would to do? Well, I sang out of tune.
okay, that's terrible. But
All right.
other than that, it was. No.
Tom Waits.
I thought that was pretty damn good.
Yeah. Tom Waits for no one.
You like?
Oh, I love Tom Waits.
I love.
I'm the ice cream man. I'm a one-man band.
By the way, apparently Heath Ledger modeled his performance at the Joker after Tom Waits.
Is that so?
Oh,
I didn't know
Look
that.
it up. You get
Wow.
apparently he talks about it at some point, and he in one of the interview and sick buddy on that shit.
There we go. We can do it. Well, I think this is great, man. I'm so glad you made it to our little rooftop soiree.
This is
Here.
great. I feel like I could do this anytime.
Great.
Will you have me back, man?
Absolutely.
Did I-
Absolutely.
For
I
part
hope we
two.
pass the audition. And
No, I'm so happy we got to do this in
Yeah.
person too, because we've been in talks for months now.
I know.
And I just nothing against anybody who's done this podcast on Zoom, but I just feel like there's such a better
yeah.
connection
Oh,
and
yeah.
more expressivity, when
Yes.
we're in person. And
Yeah.
this is like kind of going back to like the roots of the podcast.
Yeah,
It
you bet.
originally started, very guerrilla, like we were bringing all this gear to different conventions and pulling people into green rooms. And I just,
Yeah.
as a viewer and a fan, I always like the adventure of like, where's it going to be next?
Yeah.
It's cool to have a studio and everything like
it's
that.
guerrilla
it makes
theater.
it makes it easy
Guerrilla
to
theater.
yeah, but like on the road, where we can just set up wherever. I think that's like the heart and soul of this podcast.
Yeah.
When you mentioned it to me, Chris, the last night, no, the other night.
Yeah.
And when you mentioned it to me, of course I was thinking, it's going to be Sunday. I'm going to be exhausted, a long convention. But I realized the option would be we're doing on Zoom. And I got this sick feeling in my stomach. I really got sick feeling because see, Jim Cummings is here.
Yeah.
So I had the opportunity to do this with you.
Well, bless you.
So I wanted to do this on the rooftop in person. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck that
I'm
I'm
glad.
tired. Who gives a shit? I'm gonna be dead sometime.
And I know me and
That's
Jim,
right.
Jim and I have talked about this a lot, and it's like it's interesting because you almost get like a surge of energy doing
yeah.
the podcast. It's like when you sit
yeah.
down and the cameras and the lights are on.
You notice
it's almost
that?
like another
Sure.
another surge because
yeah.
Jim,
Absolutely.
Jim is a trooper. We've been at conventions for 3 days, and we'll do a 10-hour convention, and then afterwards, I book a podcast, and it's like, we
There we go.
usually have like a drink and like gather our thoughts, and it's like as soon as we sit down though, it's like boom, and it's
Yeah.
like
Oh, God, yeah.
lightning in a bottle.
Lights, camera, action.
Yeah.
Accent on the action, baby.
And
Yeah.
the action is here.
Yeah.
I really have enjoyed this a lot.
Hey.
Well, before we
Thank you.
conclude here or start wrapping it up, we definitely have to do a voice swap.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
What is that?
All right, so we
Yes,
play this
you're gonna
little
like
game on the
this.
podcast. It's a voice swap.
Remember the stroke thing, the stroke guy.
No, it'll be easy.
All
It's-
right,
it's easy.
No.
easy.
It's easy.
You're on.
my teacher my professor in college, my theater professor said, one piece of advice: fail big.
Yes.
Oh, there you
fail
go.
big.
That's good. That's good.
All right, so I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
All
Yes.
right.
All right.
Okay, you unlock that for me. Okay, so this is how the game works.
Yeah.
Jim will do one of his voices. He will do a line of, say, Winnie the Pooh, stay sweet as honey, something like that. And then you will repeat that same line, but as Courage the Cowardly Dog, or one of your characters.
All right.
One of your characters that you've played. Obviously, we have to do Courage.
Right.
And then we'll do that back and forth, and then, we'll switch. And so you do a line as Courage, and Jim will do it as one of his characters, and we'll do that back and forth a couple
All right.
times.
Let me. All of a sudden, I'm thinking I don't understand completely.
Well, I'll
Okay, so
give
here we
you a
go. Here-
line,
the-
and you
the first
repeat it
one-
as your character.
All right, so you'll start it off. I'm putting you under the spotlight. So, just an iconic line,
Right.
a line that Courage
Line.
says.
Like it's
And then-
Courage says,
and then
he's going to do it. It's as Winnie the Pooh with somebody.
Exactly.
And then he's going to give me a line from Winnie the Pooh, and I'm going to do it as Courage.
Yes.
I thought this. All right.
I know.
An idiot can understand these instructions. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, I think I'll be, because I played Fusilli on your show, I won't be Fusilli, but I will be Chef Pischetti from
Chef Pischetti.
Curious George.
Yes.
All right. I love that. I love Courage.
And Pischetti is his name, by the way.
All right.
okay.
So who's starting?
So,
Chris
go-
is starting. It's his podcast.
What, you want me to go? All right.
You want me to go?
I think you should. Yes.
You tell me what
Be
to
our
do.
guest.
Go ahead.
I will do whatever you tell me to do, sir.
Okay,
All right.
was that the line?
So I'm going to do a line of courage, right?
Yes, please.
I have a feeling something bad is going to happen.
I have a feeling something bad is going to happen. And that was Chef Pischetti. Thank you.
All right.
For you Curious
on,
George.
come on.
All right.
How about Pete?
Okay, here we go. Do me a favor, Goof. We don't have to spread this all over town.
Do me a favor, Goof. We don't have to spread this all over town.
Wow.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
that just
that's-
rocketed me into my childhood.
That is
That just
kill.
rocketed me.
That is killer.
For some reason, Courage the Cowardly Dog was massive in Canada. Massive.
Oh,
it-
yeah.
It was on every damn day. Every day. And I always felt so bad for that poor dog. Nobody believed him.
Yeah.
He'd be like freaking out about demons. And
Yeah.
what was the character, the old man with the shotgun? What was that character?
The old man with the what?
With the shotgun? Didn't he have a shotgun? Or am I confusing?
Eustace, his master.
Yeah, Eustace.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes,
He
yes.
abused him.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And like it was like every episode was like anxiety inducing. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
poor
Actually,
dog
well, of
is like
course.
going through
That
everything.
was part of the fun.
That's part of the fun, the anxiety. And
Yeah.
so many people would come up to me. No, we're playing a game. I give you more of the material.
It's fine.
But so many people at the convention would come up to me. This is such affirmation that whatever work I did in this thing really reached people in some way, that this character I was blessed to be able to play really touched a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Who were very, very anxious, anxiety-ridden.
Yeah.
Some of them autistic.
Yep.
Sure.
Special needs, abused, bullied people. Look at Courage as someone who, if he can do it, I can
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
It's a beacon of hope in some way.
I gotta believe Woody Allen would have been a huge fan. You know what I'm saying? It seems like right up his alley. I finally get this guy. there's someone I'm just saying it's crazy. This poor dog.
Crazy,
Am I right? I mean, come on. This is dog.
It's a dog. Forget about it.
That's funny. That's good stuff, man. That for some reason the first line didn't do it for me, but when you said that second line, it just like rocketed me back. Oh my God, I remember this so vividly. Wow, that's great. That's great. Do you have anything upcoming? Do you have anything that you want to promote, or where you're going to be? Are you going to be at conventions coming up?
So I did do a short film a few years ago that we have been getting into.
Festivals?
20 film festivals.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Won a few awards,
Great.
Nice. Who'd you play? What kind of character?
I played
Tell us more.
Hunter Thompson.
Oh, wow.
Hunter S. Thompson.
No kidding.
A fat Hunter S. Thompson because he was a skinny guy.
Yeah.
But I dressed up like him.
Did you have the...
I had the cigarette holder. I had
Right.
the aviator sunglasses, the fishing hat,
Sure.
the Hawaiian shirts, all of that stuff. And at one point, I shaved my head. I shaved my head completely because he had just the sides and the rest of it were bald. So I really shaved my head in this. So if you see it, you're going to see my bald head, and that is really my bald head.
No bald cap.
So and I never did it in my life.
No
but,
skin cap,
I co-wrote it with a partner, the same partner that did the Lamprechts with.
Oh, nice.
And,
that's a nice callback.
He directed it, and it's pretty good.
All right.
Good. So it's on YouTube now. It's permanently on YouTube.
And the name is, sorry.
The name is Hunter is Fucked. But the letters letters U and C are starred out like hashtags.
Okay.
So it's censored.
Sure.
Deliberately. And it's a funny version of what a day in the life of Hunter S. Thompson when, something that might be happening.
Yeah.
And it's a funny idea. I loved it. 18-minute film. So
awesome. Yeah,
check it out on YouTube.
Yeah, for you guys watching on YouTube right now, just we'll link it. We'll link
Fucked.
it. We'll link it right under this podcast.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great, man.
Yeah. That's easy. That's one click away. So you guys better watch.
That's right.
That's better.
Stay tuned, damn it.
That's awesome. That's
Good stuff,
awesome.
brother.
Well, thank you so much for doing this. This was really a lot of fun.
Let's
I
hear
told
it
you
for
it would be fun, Marty. I told you it would be
So
fun.
great to
Good
be
stuff, buddy.
with
I told you it would be
Same
fun.
here.
Really.
Same here.
I'm touched and honored to be with
Same
you.
here. We are too.
Yeah. And
And
I'm so happy that this came to fruition because, I mean, where were we? Where we had such a good conversation. We went out to drinks together.
Yeah.
We went out to dinner and drinks. I mean, we've talked several times, but that night, you know what night I'm talking about.
I remember the night
Yeah.
with a bunch of the people from
Yeah.
Celeb and-
All the cities start to blend together,
Right,
you know.
it
Yeah.
does.
Oh,
but
that's
I
so true.
remember where I was at. I text you.
But yeah, thank you again so much for doing this. I mean,
Pleasure to.
I hope you had fun. I had fun for sure.
A lot of fun.
Good stuff.
Really
Amen.
enjoying it.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah, it was a good time. And for all of you watching, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you liked this, little spontaneous episode that we did here at San Diego Comic-Con. And we really want to thank all our Patreon subscribers. We've really been trying to kick it up on Patreon, give you guys some exclusive behind the scenes stuff. I actually had somebody come up to me and say the other day, they really like that the little pre-roll. Again, shout out to Zach, the editor. He's genius, and he includes the little pre-roll, so you get a little bit of behind the scenes before we even start. If you're watching this on YouTube, you get 10-15 minutes of bonus content per episode, in addition to all the bonus content that we put on Patreon that you will never find anywhere else. So thank you so much, you guys, for supporting. I am producer Chris, the legend Jim Cummings.
Good old what's his name?
Marty Grabstein. Thank you so much for joining us once again. That was a great time. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys all so much for watching. We hope you enjoy this content. If you like it, please subscribe. It helps you. It helps us. It helps the algorithm suggest more content like this.
That's
right. Yeah, once again, another shout out to our Patreon subscribers. If you want some merchandise, you can go to Shopify and find merchandise of Jim's characters, t-shirts, memorabilia, all that good stuff at Jim Cummings Closet on Shopify. And you can check the link in the description for any upcoming appearances that Jim will be making, conventions, all that good stuff. JimCummingsWorld.com as well has all of that good stuff so you can see Jim in person. And once again, I'm producer Chris, Jim Cummings, Marty Grabstein. Thank you so much.
You're kicking ass there, Chris. You're doing it, man.
That's right.
Applause for Chris.
And shout out to Buddy the Elf, too.
Buddy the Elf.
Shout out to Buddy.
God bless you, man.
Wait, hold on. Get in this frame here.
Oh, God.
The beautiful frame it is.
Shout out to Buddy. He does a lot of our research. We really appreciate you as well. All right. And we will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for tuning in.
All right.
Ba-dum-boom.
Ba-dum-bum. Rim
Very
shot.
good. We did it.
We did it.
We scaled the heights of adequacy.